Hey there. This is the Film Lads podcast, episode 1. My name is Kirk Percival. I'm joined here by Victor and Nolan. Guys, introduce yourselves.
What up? This is Nolan O'Kane. Excited to talk about PTA.
Yeah,
this is Victor Cannell.
All right.
PTA is my favorite director, so
Yeah,
it's going to be a good time.
We haven't even said the topic yet. The topic of this little cheeky discussion here is going to be our top 5 PTA characters. Now, before we delve into our list, is there anything you guys want to discuss before going in? When you went into your list, is there anything you noticed that you want to bring up?
Okay, what I'll say is that this list was way harder than I expected.
Oh, for sure. I thought I was going in, I set out, I was I know what I'm going to do. And then it was hard. It was really hard. Also to note, I don't know how much this played into how, your guys' decision making, but we established ahead of time that there's a difference between performances, performances and top 5 characters.
Oh, definitely.
If performances were a factor going into
your list would be way different
for my characters, but if it was just performances, my list would be totally different.
Oh, exactly. No, I thought that for sure. If it was performances, my list, my number 1 might be the same, but every other
getting
spot
ahead of
on my
yourself.
list.
Yeah, some of my picks are the same for characters and performance, but there are some anomalies for sure.
I think to start off, my list is the number 5 pick is the best example of this. Performance-wise, I would never even think about this, but character-wise, I love this character.
Well, before you get into that, I would say that the perfect way of explaining the whole character performance thing is I always talk about how Marty McFly is arguably my favorite movie character ever.
But it's
I would
It's
never
a silly
put him.
performance.
I would never put him in top 100 greatest acting performances of all time.
Maybe 99.
Yeah.
Number 99.
Why not? Crispin Glover has a better performance in Back to the Future than Marty.
Crispin Glover.
Michael J. Fox, but you know what I mean. Anyways, go ahead.
Totally.
So, should I start with my number 5 here since I've already hinted at a bit?
Yeah.
All right. So I did something a little different with my list.
Okay.
The way I'm gonna introduce each of my characters is I'm gonna introduce them with a quote from the movie. And we'll see if you guys can get it, okay?
Original.
Yeah, pretty original. I went for this was a late night, last minute decision, alright? So my number 5 pick, I have this very unit in my own home. No? Okay.
Oh, he's from Boogie Nights.
It's Buck Schwab.
just
Don
watched-
Cheadle's character from...
okay.
Let me talk about this.
I just watched the movie.
Let me talk about Don Cheadle's character.
So
Buck,
good.
right?
I knew it was from Boogie Nights.
Okay. Oh my god. When just that fate, when we're introduced to this character, right? We're in that setting of that music store or whatever, and he plays the country music for the customer, and he just looks so content and happy.
Yeah.
And the guy
He's you want to funk out
the
this?
guy is not fucking with the country music, but he doesn't give a fuck. That's what I love about this guy. He does not give a shit.
Yeah.
Well,
he's like, yeehaw!
yeah.
No, he's a great character.
Well, if you think about it, with Don Cheadle's character in Boogie Nights, he's arguably, I know he's not the main character, but out of this whole supporting cast, he might be, in my opinion, the most important character. Because if you look at him from a thematic standpoint of the whole movie, he loves country music and he loves westerns and all that stuff, and everybody tells him that that's bad and everything because those days are over. And kind of the whole point of the story is when they transition to the 80s, the whole porn industry is falling apart, and porn video films shot on film is falling apart. So his character in the 70s, I was thinking of this during the rewatch, his character during the 70s is kind of foreshadows what's going to happen with this whole cast of characters.
That's exactly what I was going to talk about. His character arc, fucking amazing, alright?
Oh
How he
God.
goes from he's in that car with Julia. Why do I always forget her name?
Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore. Okay, sorry. Julianne Moore's character, and he's like recommending the audio thing. He's like, I'd love to have an audio store of my own. And then later, when you get that scene in the donut store,
oh my god,
the
that
donut
seems
store.
amazing.
Oh my god, that's like my favorite scene in the movie for sure. And the
Dope scene.
look on his face. Like, I'm not just talking about the performance here. I'm talking about more of the character, because from what we've seen of the character so far in the movie, this makes perfect sense. Like, he's fucking shocked. Like, he's pretty innocent. Like, among the characters, he seems like pretty like the least, like, more chill guy.
Yeah.
And then he's just sitting there and sees the bag of money. He's just like, fuck.
Well, I mean, I hope I'm not reading too deep in it, but if you're like looking at it, if he dreams to be like a cowboy kind of guy, he's not, saving the day in that donut shop. It's the guy sitting in the booth like a few meters away, and he's kind of like the cowboy. I don't know. I could be reading too deep into that movie, but.
Okay, because you know me, I love cowboys, alright? I love my cowboys.
Buster Scruggs.
Okay, when I was looking at the Boogie Nights thing, and there's so many great characters in Boogie Nights, because you have that ensemble cast, all these great characters, well-written, like, funky, hilarious characters. But just Don Cheadle's Buck, I fucking can't pronounce his last name. It's Swap or something like that. Swope.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just he stands out so much, and I didn't think he'd stand out like upon my original watch, but like thinking about it, just that stood out so much to me.
No, I respect that choice so much.
All right.
Honestly, I haven't seen Boogie Nights in a long time, so I regrettably don't have much to say
You're
about
a
that. Yeah.
All right.
You're a hack, Victor.
I am.
Victor's a hack.
Going
I'm a
on
hack.
to the hack. Let's go.
Are we gonna do my
next.
pick now?
Number 5.
My pick, definitely going to be Barry Egan from Punch Drunk Love. That movie to me just like totally sticks out in Paul Thomas Anderson's filmography. It's definitely, to me, his most unique movie. I mean, it's his shortest. Most of his films are so long, but that movie's just really sweet to me, and so is Adam Sandler's character. He's so pathetic, but he's so lovable at the same time, and like I just find there's a lot to relate with him, and bye-bye.
And bye-bye.
What do you guys think about this character?
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Barry Egan is like fucking awesome, all right?
He is.
He's so legit.
Dope.
Those moments of anger
are awesome.
where it's just like you have this like almost like it's a release.
Yeah, he's
from
so
all his
he's so
sisters.
calm when he goes to that party with all his sisters and like, I remember when we called you gay boy. Fucking
totally.
gay boy and all this stuff.
And
he
you
just freaks out.
Yeah. And as a viewer, you like need those moments because you just feel so bad for him the whole time.
100%.
Like all the shit that he goes through, like how awful his family treats him. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
That scene in the restaurant too.
I know.
In the bathroom.
Yeah.
In the bathroom.
Yeah.
My favorite moment rewatching the whole movie though is when he's at her apartment and then he leaves and he's like
bye-bye.
regretting.
Yeah, is this moment of regret like
Yeah.
Huge moment of regret. Like, oh, I should have left it that way. Like, I should have kissed her. I should have stayed.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have said bye the way I did. And it's this long wide shot of him walking down the hallway.
Yeah.
And bye-bye. And bye-bye.
Yeah,
And it's
like,
just the
it's
most
so good.
awkward but most perfect.
I guess
shot.
that's where like part of where the performance plays into like a love of a character, because you have that like idiosyncratic like walk and the way he talks to himself. Like
his feet are kind of like pointed.
Yeah, Adam
to the
Sandler has
outside.
an awkward walk. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know if like Paul Thomas Anderson had to like direct that. Like
Yeah.
but
True,
like,
it is part of Adam Sandler.
I feel like it's just part of Adam Sandler.
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like performance does
No,
play into,
totally.
That's what a huge thing I realized like going into this discussion and
for sure.
revisiting my list was that I was trying to avoid performances, but performances play such a huge role.
I found the same thing. All of my characters, I love their performances, and I don't think my list would be too much too different.
Mine would be pretty different. I won't lie.
Yeah.
I also love that the opening scene when he goes out on the street.
Yeah.
And the car crash happens, and he has like this awkward kind of shake and surprised look on his face.
Totally,
it's so funny.
Yeah.
Because, like, for the first little bit of that movie, you have no idea what's happening or who this guy is. He's just on the phone, like, in the middle of this empty... Okay.
I love the opening shot.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. The
opening shot is so good, just like...
What's with, like... He has this separate garage just for his little desk.
His little desk,
and it never appears again in the movie except in the first...
Holy shit, I never actually thought about
don't...
that. Holy fuck.
Yeah. Like, that's
separate from his office.
I know.
Where he's playing the piano and shit.
It's so bizarre. That movie is so bizarre to me. He's always just wearing the same blue suit.
I love it.
I know.
All his sisters are chirping the fucking suit. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I know.
Fuck with this
suit.
Everyone's commenting on the suit, like... That's another thing that goes into this character is the look of him.
The look of the character
iconic,
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like easily miles by miles the best Adam Sandler performance.
Oh, for sure, easily. I haven't seen the Meyerowitz stories.
That one's good, but not.
It's
good
I
in
don't
that movie. But
I don't suspect it's nearly as good
like,
as Punch Drunk Love.
Just him being normal Adam Sandler, but being more low key.
Sure.
Punch Drunk Love is a total departure.
Yeah. I completely agree.
I mean,
and there's this weird
Hotel Transylvania,
but
is a pretty great. I'm not even kidding. I like Hotel Transylvania.
I fuck with Adam Sandler in Happy Gilmore. Like that's just like a classic movie for me. But I mean,
all right. Enough off.
I just want to say, have you guys heard of like the Superman theory or whatever?
Oh my god.
I don't know it off by heart, but you guys should look into it because it's pretty nuts.
Well, just say it right now.
Well, like no, I forget like the specifics, but basically Barry Egan is supposed to be like Superman or something, and I don't remember it quite, like, to be honest, but
we'll look at.
You should look into it. You should look into it for sure.
All right, homework, kids.
Yeah,
next episode,
we're
gonna quiz you on the Superman theory.
No, look it up though. It's pretty crazy.
And by that, I mean Victor is gonna quiz Nolan and I.
On the Superman theory.
Okay.
It's pretty crazy.
And I'm just gonna come with like those crazy like, not even conspiracy theories. That like legend of like Nicolas Cage playing Superman, and that's all I'm gonna talk about.
Yeah.
I told you, PTA man. All right.
Fuck yeah.
Enough Barry Egan for now.
Egan for now.
My turn for my number 5.
Yeah, let's move on to some Nolan. What you got for us?
Well, if we're gonna do the whole quote thing, then I'd like to say
copy what?
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that too.
I love that idea.
I prepared this.
Only if I can remember the quote, kind of. So
I wrote just.
I'm gonna start doing the quotes too.
Just picture yourself. Picture yourself sitting in a hot tub, and just this guy just says, "Well, I think that heaven just dropped you down here and put you in your place, Dirk Diggler." Fucking Burt Reynolds as Jackie Treehorn in Boogie Nights.
That's not what I expected, but yeah, great character for sure.
He wasn't on my list, but whenever you watched it, he had to be on the list because this guy, he is the character that controls the whole movie.
Oh, yeah,
he has the most power in the whole movie. Everybody goes through their struggles. Everybody like has their ups and downs. Dirk Diggler, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Don Cheadle. Burt Reynolds in that movie is the only character who's in control the entire time. And yes, he does have like some struggles with like, the whole film versus video thing, and all of a sudden he's got to like struggle to make these new types of pornos and stuff like that.
Totally.
But he always seems in control, and that's partly why I love his character, because he's the one that helps all the other characters through their struggles, like Julianne Moore and Dirk Diggler.
He's a father figure.
Yeah, I was going to say,
he is
which is such like a common theme in all of PTA's movies.
Definitely, like
surrogate fathers.
Julianne Moore is the mother, and Burt Reynolds is the father in that movie.
For sure.
Another thing too I love about Burt Reynolds' character is he has a goal. a lot of people talk about characters, goal-oriented characters, like that's a good asset to having a good character, and you know, a lot of times it is.
Yeah.
But like his goal is so interesting. It's like, if you think about it, it's not like any other movie you've ever seen. His goal is to make pornos that people stay to watch them because of the story, not because of the sex or anything like that. He has a dream, and his dream is to make people stay in the theaters for the whole movie because of the story.
But
totally
from like, I don't know, from what I remember, like I haven't seen Boogie Nights in a while.
Yeah.
But from what I remember, like the movies themselves, the process we see, those aren't the movies he's making. Like he's not making.
He's not. He's not. But he's still making. He's still making plot-driven pornos. They're just bad.
Yeah.
Like they're still bad movies, but they're like plot-driven because remember, like he starts making the series of films with Mark Wahlberg and John C. Reilly as the spies. or whatever. Yeah, and they have all those storylines in the films, and they're bad films. But I don't know, his character just some of those scenes, like what was that one scene I was thinking of? It's such a good scene. Holy shit, I forget. Like, there's just so many good scenes with him.
No, he's a character.
It's the scene near the end. Like, the whole movie is very exuberant and exciting, and then all of a sudden, the 80s happen, and it gets dark and everything, and he starts struggling with his career, and he's trying to find ways to make his movies interesting and make a comeback. So he brings
the
Roller
limo.
Girl in the limo.
The limo, so
good. My god, it's so
that
dark.
amateur guy,
yeah.
It's just like,
but
get this kid out of the car.
You never
so
you
cringy.
barely see Burt Reynolds in that scene, but you just listen to him as the guy's on Roller Girl. You just listen to Burt Reynolds. He's just like, whoa. Come on, man. You gotta be sexy with her.
So cringy. That's like one of the cringiest scenes of all time.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Like, not in a bad way. Like, I'm not saying...
No,
like,
it's on purpose, yeah.
And the way it cuts back and forth with Dirk Diggler going through his shit.
Yeah.
So good.
R.I.P. Burt Reynolds, by the way.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Great transition.
We know he didn't get along with PTA. Don't understand why. Because Burt Reynolds, R.I.P. Your performance in Boogie Nights was amazing.
He added a lot to
probably
the movie,
the best performance Burt Reynolds has ever given. I mean, from what I've seen, I've only seen like Smokey and the Bandit.
I've only seen Boogie Nights. So
I think I've only seen Boogie Nights too, but it's a great performance for sure, and I respect it.
He got nominated, I think.
Yeah.
Him and I think Julianne Moore. I'm not positive.
All right,
you have to fact check me on that.
All right. So do we want to move on to Kirk's top 4 or his number 4 spot rather?
Take it away, Criterion lad.
Give us the quote.
I'm not gonna try and do accents here, but I'm gonna try a little.
Give us the quote.
When the hell did this happen? Who are you? Do you have a gun? Are you here to kill me?
Reynolds Woodcock from Phantom Thread.
Nice. That's a fucking hilarious scene, by the way.
Hilarious.
Oh my god.
So fantastic character.
Okay, before you go off, I just want to say that first time I saw that movie, I saw it with my mom. And when that scene was happening, first of all, like I'm in the theater, it's packed full, and there's all these old people in the theater, and like they think they're going in for some like serious dressmaking movie,
totally.
Right?
But it's so different than that.
That scene's happening, and my mom is like laughing hysterically beside me, and I'm kind of chuckling a little bit too. My mom is laughing hysterically, and she's like looking at me, and then she whispers to me like, why am I the only one that's laughing right now?
Yeah.
This is so funny.
Honestly, I just want to say, I just want to say that, like, to me, most Paul Thomas Anderson movies, if not all, have like an element of comedy to them.
Oh, 100%.
But this film balances like the comedy and like the dark drama aspects like the best.
Better than
his whole filmography.
Most of his films, yeah. Sorry, Kirk, you should talk about your pick.
No, yeah.
I was just going to say, I was going to add on.
Yeah.
When Victor and I saw that together,
I was there too, bro.
Kirk was there too. Nolan was there too.
I was there too. It was my second time.
Shit. Okay. When all 3 of us were there,
and Eden was there. But
we all died during that scene.
I know.
So hard.
I know.
Like,
The fucking
so
asparagus.
Are you a spy?
Are you a secret agent?
Yeah. It's so good.
But she's devastated in that scene. This is her like
I know.
cry for help.
I know. I want to cry in that scene, but I can't help but laugh.
Because you feel for her so much.
Totally.
But you're just laughing at
I know.
this fucking guy.
He's such a
dick that it's funny.
Yeah, but he's not just a dick. He doesn't know he's a dick.
No, he
kind of
doesn't.
like his character kind of reminds me of Jesse Eisenberg in The Social Network a little bit, whereas he's just
he doesn't know he's a dick.
He doesn't know how to act. He doesn't know how to behave.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah, so you guys pretty much summed it up for me.
Sorry, I apologize.
Well, no, I don't.
I kind of went off.
What do you have more to say?
You should have more to say.
Okay.
Because I can deliver more on this character for sure.
It's your character.
Really.
For sure.
What I have to say is that I've only seen this film once. And it's left actually a huge impact on me, alright? The way that this character develops and like the stages he goes through throughout the film is so nuts. And that's what's crazy to me is these stages you have. That initial scene where he starts off so charismatic.
I'm fucking laughing thinking about the movie.
I know.
I'm just thinking back.
He's so charismatic where he delivers this order to Alma.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "You got all that?" And then he takes away the pencil and paper, and it's just like, you come back and there's just this beautiful shot of all this food, and you're like, she fucking succeeded.
Totally.
In pleasing this fucking crazy man.
Wait, sorry, you think she succeeded in pleasing him?
No, in this original scene, when it was just like, he challenged her, right? There was that initial challenge of like, you need to memorize my order without like.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
anything.
I see what you're saying.
No, you mean the.
Sorry, you're right.
I was
the
thinking about
initial
the
scene when they meet.
You mean the first scene with Reynolds and Alma, like when they meet in the restaurant.
Yeah,
she's the waitress,
and she gives the order, and then he takes away the paper from her.
Yeah,
it's just like
for
memory.
the hungry boy.
That's true.
For the hungry boy.
And it's everything he said is there in this beautiful shot of food, and that totally turns. The way food is portrayed in okay.
Oh,
well,
it's so much more than that.
It's like Neon Demon, where like food and sex.
Yeah.
But done better.
Yeah. No, I love that character. Like I've seen the movie 2 times, and just the more I think about it and like analyze it and like do research on it, just the more depth I find in the character.
Oh,
he's just so interesting to me, and there's so many things on the second watch that I didn't pick up on the first time I saw it.
Yeah. No,
just all the stuff like I love the depth that Paul Thomas Anderson's characters have, and to me like the more films that he makes, the more depth his characters have, I think.
I mean, I'd argue that, but
I
agree with you on his character's depth. I think all his characters have so much depth. I think
no, for sure.
I think the reason why you would think that his later films, characters in those films have more depth is because there's less of them. Whereas like his earlier films, we're not going to really talk about Hard 8.
No.
Like, we aren't, right? Like,
no, not really.
Well, shit. Looks like I'm throwing this list out the window.
Okay.
There goes my top 3.
Oh, okay. Never. Scratch what I just said.
I almost put a character from Hard 8 on my list. Almost.
I respect one character.
The reason I didn't is just because he's just too small of a character, but I swear to God.
Oh, Philip Seymour
I
Hoffman.
was this close to putting Philip Seymour Hoffman on my fucking list.
No, I watched it so long ago.
No, dude, he's in it for 2 minutes.
Okay, can I get back to what I was saying?
Yeah, sorry.
He's in that scene where he's gambling with Philip Baker Hall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like chirping him for being old.
Oh, and he's so good.
Yeah.
He's
so good. That's so unlike Philip Seymour Hoffman, too.
I know. He's the best part of the entire movie. Hands down. Shows up for 2 minutes and just like...
That was...
Just kills it.
Hear me out on this one. That was The Master.
I know.
Philip Seymour Hoffman from The Master.
I know.
Yeah.
My God.
R.I.P. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Rest in peace.
One of the greatest.
Oh, for sure. We're gonna have one
on my Mount Rushmore. on my Mount Rushmore of actors.
Yeah, totally.
Anyways, back to what I was saying is I think that
yeah, we cut you off.
Obviously, I understand your opinion that his characters in his later films have more depth because I think it's because his later films have less characters. Where if you think about Magnolia and Boogie Nights, they have so many characters. So obviously, like
it's hard to really dive into.
Yeah, let's say those characters had as much screen time as Daniel Day-Lewis in Phantom Thread or Alma in Phantom Thread. Like they'd have so much depth as well. Even though they still have a ton of depth in those films.
But going back on it, like the films after, even you see this progression. Like to me, There Will Be Blood, as complex and complicated as the characters are in that movie, Phantom Thread does it in such a subtle way.
Yeah, totally
subtle but obvious way.
Totally.
And it's so hard to understand.
I want to watch it. I've seen it twice.
It's so good. It's so good.
But
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
Just the whole thing with like the first time I watched it, I didn't really understand why he was so like on board with like Alma poisoning him all the time. It didn't really make sense to me, but on the second watch,
those spoilers.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert!
Dude,
obviously,
I dropped the hint with the food over there. I was like,
hey,
food plays important.
Spoiler alert!
If you haven't seen PTA's movies, then that's your fault, not ours.
You shouldn't watch this. But
you guys are roasting.
The first time I watched this,
you guys are roasting our 2 viewers before. They
yeah. Did you guys like completely understand why he was so on board with it the first time?
It took me a couple minutes.
Yeah.
At first, like before I was like, holy fuck, like she's fucked, you know?
Yeah.
No, because he's equally as fucked.
Oh, exactly. That's why they're meant for each other.
Exactly.
To me, like, you guys probably agree with this, and like this might just be like redundant explaining it, but to me, the reason he's like so on board with it is because he talks about how his mother died at like an early age.
Oh yeah, that's exactly.
And like he loved his mother so much, and so he's kind of longing for this mother figure.
He wants to be taken care of.
He wants to be taken care of, and he doesn't really get that until Alma poisons him and is able to take care of him.
I saw it the first time I watched it because of what's arguably my favorite scene in all of Phantom Thread. There's so many great scenes in Phantom Thread, but scene when he's sick
and he sees visions of his mother.
And he sees his mother standing by the door.
Fuck yeah.
Holy shit, man.
It's crazy.
That scene is so good. And that, I don't know, it's just, it's so relatable in a way. It's just
I get that.
You want to be taken care of, especially when you're sick. Doesn't matter how old you are. You can be
you want 60, to be taken care of.
You can be 50, 60 years old and you want to be taking care of your mother.
For sure.
You heard it here first, folks. We're all just big mama's boys.
Oh yeah. I'm a mama's boy, for sure. I know Nolan is too.
I am too. I am too. Okay, anyways. Just to sum up one last thing about this character.
Yeah, we've been talking about this guy for a long time.
Sort of adding on to what... you gotta give credit where credit is due.
For sure.
Sort of adding on to what you guys said. Like, the mother, and another big aspect to me is how Phantom Thread portrays relationships in cycles. Because you have the movie start with this one girl's go on the out of the relationship and almost like the replacement for her. So it's kind of like a replacement to that cycle, because that cycle of poisoning resets the cycle, right? It's so fucked. And
it's actually a fucked movie. But okay, before I get to my number 4 pick, I just want to say that I think PTA is good with these kind of characters.
We got to do my number 4 pick first.
Oh fuck, my bad.
No worries.
Okay, we've been going so long.
I know, we have.
Anyways, I just wanted to say that I think PTA is really good with these kind of characters. Because I think it's kind of personal in a weird way, just a little bit, because he has, in a few of his movies, you see these characters who play these artists.
For sure.
I see Daniel Day-Lewis in Phantom Thread as an artist. Even There Will Be Blood, I see him as an artist.
Really?
For sure.
Even Boogie Nights. Not Daniel Day-Lewis in Boogie Nights, but Burt Reynolds in Boogie Nights, he's the artist.
Dirk Diggler's
and they all have their
star. He's a star.
Stop interrupting me, bro. But all I'm just saying is, like, these characters in these films, they're artists, and I think that PTA has an easy time of, putting them to life on screen because they're artists. And
No, for sure. And I think he puts himself into these characters a little bit. Like, I think, like, Paul Thomas Anderson has his own idiosyncratic... I can't... You know what I mean?
You said it right.
I said it right. Yeah. That, like, these characters have as well. And I think he shares that with them. And I think that he puts himself into these characters quite a bit.
All right, time for Victor's number 4.
Okay, so my number 4 pick, if we're doing the whole quote thing, I just gotta say, respect the cock.
Yes.
And tame the cunt. Yeah, Frankie Mac, played by Tom Cruise in Magnolia. I just watched Magnolia recently with my boy Nolan over here, and I was pretty blown away. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And to me, Tom Cruise, his character in that movie is just everything I want in a character. Like, he's hilarious and, like, just totally absurd, but he has so much depth at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the first time you see him, you just kind of laugh at him. You just kind of think he's ridiculous. But, like, through the interview questions and the things you learn about him, like, there's just so much depth to his character and why he is the way he is. Like,
One thing I love about Tom Cruise in that movie is, spoiler alert for Magnolia, if you haven't seen it, watch it right now, is by the end, when that whole insane incident happens
yeah.
with the frogs,
Yeah.
everybody seems to be distracted by the frogs. Everybody. They show all these characters.
Totally.
They're looking at the frogs. They're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is happening? But at the end, it punctuates that moment when it just cuts to Tom Cruise, and it's just a tight, like, extreme close-up of him
Totally.
staring into his dad.
Totally.
And he's not phased out by the frogs at all.
No.
And then it just, like, cuts straight to black.
Yeah.
It is just... Oh, it's just... His character has built up to this moment to be the most absurd, hilarious,
totally.
funniest character in the movie. We're laughing at him so much.
But I
every
think
time
he
we
has
see
the
him.
most depth as well
Probably, yeah.
in the movie, I think. Like, I had no expectations for Magnolia. I didn't know much of what it was about. Like, I've seen pictures, like, stills of the movie, and I just thought Tom Cruise was just, like, a singer or, like, a performer or something. So his character introduction was just hilarious to me. And I just thought for the whole movie he'd be some, like, absurd character to just kind of, like, laugh at and, like, provide the comic relief. And not even in a bad way, but...
Not just that, but the 2001 music.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we're talking about things that make a character good.
Yeah.
Honestly, the music is part of it too.
It's such a good character introduction.
I was gonna add another part, like, I want to talk about with this character.
Yeah.
Is the look of him. It's so...
I know.
The hair.
His
color.
hair.
Okay. Not only the
Mission
hair.
Impossible too.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, okay? This is a subtle thing. With that microphone, okay?
Oh,
that
it adds a
little
lot.
microphone adds so
It
much.
does.
Because he's not holding one. He's like an athlete on the stage. Dude,
He's a presence.
Dude, the
Totally.
scene when he's in his underwear and he's like doing these like flips or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It is so funny.
He's like a dog.
Yeah, totally. And just like Barry Egan, just his outfit adds so much to the character.
It's almost as if it's a precursor to these absurdist, like, YouTube, these infomercials we see on YouTube. Like, that's
Definitely.
like,
Totally.
I know that's not a concept that's, like, totally new, but now these things are, like, viral. And
Oh, I
everyone
know.
There's an easy way of, like, showing how absurd they are.
Seduce and destroy, fellas.
Yeah.
Seduce and destroy.
And now PTA's like...
Yeah. But no, like I said, like, when his character was first introduced, like, I had no expectation of his character, like, having so many, like, struggles and just, like, I just had no expectation of that. So when it happened, like, I was just blown away, and, like, he made me laugh, like, he almost made me cry, like, that scene with his dad.
Oh, bro.
It's
and he's
crazy.
like,
that speech he has with his dad, like,
He's
amazing performance. I know we're just talking
don't
characters.
let the dogs near me.
Yeah, I know we're just talking characters, but performance-wise, like, excellent.
Well,
no,
performance is part of a good
We've
character.
already discussed
For sure,
that.
yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, his character does so much for me. Like, he makes me laugh. He almost made me cry. He's just everything I want in
He's
a
a
character.
hilarious, absurd,
Totally.
asshole, and we
But he has
understand
depth.
why.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what makes it so good.
And the moment we understand why, it just adds so much depth to the character, and that's why
he
he's
doesn't say anything. It's just straight face.
totally. That's why he's on my list.
Yeah.
Great
choice, bro.
Great choice.
All right, moving on. My number 4.
Number 4, Nolan.
All right.
You got a quote? Are you gonna?
I'm trying to. Let me quick think of a quote. Oh yeah. Okay, here it is. I like you. Can you please let me kiss you on the mouth?
No.
Please?
Oh.
Philip
Seymour Hoffman
in
Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with Boogie Nights
That
right
car.
now.
Yo, he was so close to being on my list.
Okay.
Dude.
Talk about more than costuming. Now we're talking about props. That car. The fucking car.
Okay. Boogie Nights.
Oh, it
There's a
hurts.
reason why it's my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film.
Well, I'd hope so.
I'll respect it.
It's got all these energetic characters.
Totally.
It's so the exuberance of it. It's just I have such a good time watching that film more than any PTA film. Magnolia's close, but I can rewatch it the most. And it's so kind of like Magnolia. It just has this energy to it.
Fucks with that.
But then his character arc gets to a moment that is just like it's comedic. And we were talking about Tom Cruise's character. I think Philip Seymour Hoffman comes close as far as like combining comedy and drama.
Yeah, I agree.
That scene when he like
when he kisses
when he kisses Dirk Diggler. And it's just the most heartbreaking shutdown ever. But like the movie's kind of so fast up to that moment. And then all of a sudden we just hold on this shot of Philip Seymour Hoffman in that car that you were talking about. He's in that car and he just starts bawling. He's like, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that's kind of one of like the main
Philip Seymour Hoffman voice is on point right now.
Dude, like
that is kind of like one of the main calm down points of the movie. Like it is very fast. It moves.
But that's the whole point of the movie.
No, for sure.
Even in the setting, you're being taken out of this party. He's like, I have something to show you, and it's this moment, this quiet moment, exactly what you're describing.
Yeah,
and it adds so much to the impact and
for
how
sure.
you think of. So, what do we learn from this, boys? Cinematography and pacing also plays an important part in what makes a good character.
Yes,
oh, easily.
That like, I was thinking about his character rewatching the film, and let's say you replaced it to be like a traditional romance or traditional kind of shutdown. So let's say discounting everything else in the movie, all the porn, all the whatever. Let's say Philip Seymour Hoffman we take his point of view. Let's say he was this guy. And Dirk Diggler was this girl. And like that shot when it does that iris, it's that love at first sight moment.
Oh,
and it's so kind of romantic. Even when they show it in the movie, it's romantic. And then he walks over. But I'm just trying to get you guys to imagine if it was done differently. It would be like, I don't know, because these kind of things relate to everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, oh my god, like it's love at first sight, and then when their relationship develops and their friendship is so close that it's like it's a friendship to Dirk Diggler, but it's a romance to Philip Seymour Hoffman, and then just that scene at the New Year's party.
You're making this sound so sad.
It is so sad.
It is sad.
It's so funny at the same time, though. Yeah,
Philip Seymour Hoffman's amazing.
R.I.P.
Yeah. He's been in the most like Paul Thomas Anderson movies out of like all his reoccurring cast members.
Yeah,
I think John C. Reilly's second,
probably,
and then the older gentleman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. He wasn't in There Will Be Blood, but I think that's it.
Oh, can we talk about
Phantom Thread?
And Phantom Thread.
Can we talk? Well, because he passed away.
Obviously.
Can we talk about that one shot? I don't know how well you guys remember Boogie Nights, but
I don't remember it well.
It's the first time they're filming Dirk Diggler in one of their films.
Yeah.
And he like pulls down his pants for the first time, and everybody's seeing Dirk Diggler for the first time, and like all these people, their kind of eyes kind of widen, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's holding
Yeah,
the boom
boom.
mic, and he starts shaking.
Yeah.
And he's looking up and down.
Yeah.
That little subtlety, like I didn't notice it the first time.
Totally.
It shows like how nervous he is. Like
Yeah, so many subtleties
And
to
how
his
forward.
character.
Totally.
Every shot.
Yeah.
All right.
I need to rewatch Boogie Nights for sure.
Of course.
All right, Kirk's number 4 pick.
Number 3.
Number 3? Oh shit, you're right. My bad. Let's hear it.
I'm a false prophet. God is a superstition.
Eli.
I'm a false prophet. God is a superstition.
Eli. Great
Eli.
choice.
Interesting.
He was almost on my list.
I respect it, but
Here's
not
why.
my list.
Oh, we forgot to do honorable mentions.
Well, we'll do that.
We can
before
talk about
the
the
number
other
one.
characters.
We talk about,
Before
yeah,
the
for sure,
number
for sure.
Before the number one. Okay,
Yeah.
let me
Great
tell
choice,
you
great choice.
Why I picked this character.
Yeah.
Okay, the introduction. I'm gonna talk about the introduction first to this character, but I'm not gonna talk about the introduction to this character, because one of the reasons why I love Eli.
Wait. Did you just say I'm not going to talk about
No,
the introduction?
I'm gonna talk about the introduction, but not not his physical introduction. Okay, so
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Paul,
Yeah.
we get introduced to the brother first,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, right.
He's a very
his twin.
He's a
I
very
haven't
It's
seen
so
the movie in a
trippy.
while.
It's
no,
so
it's
trippy.
so trippy, and it makes you think that there's more going on. It sort of tricks you. Okay, maybe
haven't seen
you
it
guys
in a while.
disagree.
No,
but it
I
sort of tricks
completely
you.
agree.
And-
I completely agree.
I agree.
No, I agree. That's
Okay.
You go. You're talking about the
Because-
character.
You even see this in HW and
For sure.
Sunday, or sorry, not
Eli
Sunday.
Sunday.
You even see this in Daniel Day-Lewis's character and HW when they first meet Eli. They're like,
Yeah.
what? They do a double take, right?
Yeah, I love that moment.
I
so
love that
much.
moment because
It's so eerie. The music and just the way that Daniel Day-Lewis looks at HW. It's so freaky in a way.
It's not.
I gotta rewatch it. Like I love the
Dude.
movie, but I haven't seen it in
I think
a year.
I think you'll give it the 5-star on a
I
rewatch.
actually do too. The other day I was just thinking, I was like, you know what? I bet you when I watch There Will Be Blood, I'm gonna drop the 5-star.
For sure. And I just want to say quickly, the quote that you opened this with, the "I'm a false prophet," that whole scene in the bowling alley is like,
Oh, that's peak.
no, it's probably my favorite movie
Climax.
scene of all time.
Yeah, it's
Really?
peak.
For sure.
I respect that, but
It's easily
I
my
just-
favorite
I just said
scene.
respect, not respect.
I respect that, but I have a different.
No, obviously you
Yeah,
disagree.
that's
I mean,
a-
a favorite scene of all time is hard to
yeah,
determine.
It's an
Okay.
amazing scene.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
so
go on.
Immediately, you think there's more going on to this character than there really is. You think he's this manipulative mastermind who's like faking to be two characters because it's not confirmed till
Mm-hmm.
later on in the movie that they're actually two brothers.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what
I remember.
I really love about this character is that there's almost like this dramatic irony to it,
Totally.
where like the previous scenes make us think there's more going on than there is, but really it's what we see before us is the reality, you know?
Yeah, no, totally.
Like, I don't know.
No,
That's
he's a
good
great
way.
character, and he does have this weird energy about him that like you just can't pinpoint.
Yeah.
Which is like what I love about so many PTA characters in his later films. There's just like there's this quality.
It's always
to them.
about his later films.
No,
man.
I know that you
Victor,
like.
It's always about his later films.
Okay, stop the argument.
I know that you like his earlier films. I know that I like his later films, but like
I like them all. I like them all, guys.
Okay,
No, but
can we
I
just
just wanna say-
can we just say that we both love his early and later films?
No, totally.
I love There Will Be Blood. I love Phantom Thread. I love The Master.
you just love his
But
older
I
films.
just love his older films just a bit more.
And I'm the same, except I'd say I love his older films a lot more personally.
You mean his newer
newer
films?
films.
His newer films, my bad.
All right.
Yeah, all his characters just have this like this energy to them where you don't really know what's
Eli
up with
Sunday,
them.
though.
Like Eli Sunday, you don't really know what's up with them. In my opinion, you can't
Because
quite.
he's such a great foil too to the.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he doesn't get enough respect for that.
No,
like,
because Because religion is his business.
Yeah.
And for Daniel, business is his religion.
Yeah, exactly. It's like reverse.
They're the complete opposite.
That's why it's so good. Their dynamic is just crazy.
Yeah, that scene where he's opening the well, and you just see Eli amongst the people in the crowd, right?
Wait. When he's supposed to when he's supposed to shout out the church and he doesn't.
Yes.
And you just see Eli's face and he's
the
just
look on his face.
Yeah.
But he's like not obviously placed in the crowd, right? He sort of blends in with the crowd until he starts blessing and everyone walks away and he's just left there in disbelief as to what just happened.
Totally.
And that's the moment
that
starts, like, to me that's the moment that was the line crossed for him.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's become a two-way war.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we're moving on.
My number three.
Let's go, buddy.
My number 3. I don't know a quote, so I'm just gonna say Reynolds Woodcock. We already talked about him in quite a lot of detail. So
any small things to add, just quickly, like that we didn't.
I don't know.
Actually, we spent a lot of time.
We spent a lot of time on him, and
yeah.
I said everything I wanted to say about him, and you guys said everything I wanted to say about him when we already talked about him. So
100%.
That sums it up. So we'll just move on to your number 3.
All right.
Great
my
choice.
number 3.
Thank you.
Same thing. We already touched on him. It's Tom Cruise, Magnolia. We talked about him in pretty great detail. So
easy.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Let's move on.
Back to me.
All right. We'll go back to Kirk. Back to Kirk.
Back to my quotes here.
All right. Let's guess this
now's
shit.
the real good thing.
All right. This is your number 2 now.
Yeah, this is
where it
gets real.
We're getting down and dirty.
This is where it's getting real, dog. Yeah, dig.
I can't do this.
Give me a quote.
I want you flat on your back, helpless, tender, open with only me to help you.
Damn.
And then, I want you strong again.
I know what it is.
I know what
You're
it is
not
too.
going to die. You might wish you're going to die, but you're not going to. You need to settle down.
Alma Elson.
Alma and fucking Phantom Thread. What
Great
a bold
choice.
pick, but a great choice.
Great
Bold
choice.
pick. Okay, no.
I was
bold pick, great pick.
Higher
since we
on my list.
Yeah, I just want to say we forgot to do our honorable mentions.
Well,
we'll do it later. We'll do it later. But I just want to say Alma was so close to making my list.
Oh, you know,
God damn,
it's gonna be on my list.
She's amazing. Just
Alma.
I'll let you speak first. But she was so close to making my list.
You like her progression is more
insane
nuts than
Daniel Day-Lewis's character,
which is fucking nuts to me. She steals
for
the
sure.
show. Not just
She's so good. She got snubbed for an Oscar nomination.
No,
she
not
did.
just
I don't value Oscars that much, but like
Oscars suck. Oscars suck.
Yeah, but just looking at the nominations list, I was like, what the fuck?
Totally.
Like for leading actress, are you kidding? Who fucking won? Like
Frances McDormand, which she
Oh,
deserved.
yeah,
She
true.
deserved it.
She deserved it. She was better than Alma.
I was
Alma's so
like,
dope.
I was gonna drop the
Alma's
mic
great.
and be like,
No, Alma's dope.
Alma's
but
fucking peak.
Frances deserved it that year.
Okay, yeah, Frances. Like, I love Frances McDormand. She deserved
But
it.
Alma should have seen a best actress.
No,
like,
but
nomination.
I was trying to like see if it was like someone I thought was mediocre, and then I was gonna drop the mic and be like, "Oh, almost should have won."
But no,
but,
you
but
agree with
then I
Frances.
realized it was Frances McDormand.
I just want to
Big
like
awards.
Vicky
Krieps,
Krieps, yeah.
Krieps.
Did his sister in the movie get nominated? Or
Yes,
for
she
best
did.
she did.
Leslie Manville got
yeah,
nominated.
Lindsay, yeah, okay.
Leslie Manville.
I think Alma was just as good as Leslie.
I think
Leslie.
she was better.
You think she was better?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. That's fair. I don't know if I agree.
Yeah. You guys can disagree, all right? I see you doing that. The viewers.
Well,
aren't
I don't
gonna-
know. I was close to
We're
putting
here-
her on my list.
I have to disagree, but I don't want to.
We're
I don't
here
wanna-
to talk about Alma.
I don't want to say much
We're
right
here
now.
to talk
Yeah.
about Alma.
No, Alma's great. She was so close to being on my list.
I already talked about a lot about how the cycles of this movie are what I love so much. How it shows relationships in these cycles that they keep going through. because that's what life feels like sometimes. And I don't know, Alma just, she's like she transcends the film itself to me. Because
I agree.
Fuck,
I love the scene.
It's almost
when she meets Reynolds for the first time, because I noticed it when I was in the theater both times when I watched it. This is something that only great actors can do, and Vicky Krieps was able to pull this off. Is when she meets Reynolds for the first time, she blushes.
Mm-hmm.
She blushes like a lot. The only one of the only other times I've ever noticed that in an actor is in The Big Lebowski.
You don't think that was makeup? No, I'm just...
doesn't matter. Either way, it's the
No,
character.
for sure.
But, yeah, fuck. I don't know. It didn't
It
look like...
been.
It
No,
did not
no,
look
no.
like makeup.
No,
it did not look like makeup.
still contributes to the character, for sure.
Either way, it contributes to the character, but I don't think it was makeup because it really didn't look like it. The only time I ever really noticed that was in The Big Lebowski with Philip Seymour Hoffman, and there's one scene where he blushes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Like, that is something that very few... We're all very fond of her. Only few actors can do that. And
True.
I believe, I'm not positive, it could have been makeup,
You
but
believe that it
I
was
believe
her.
she pulled it off. But either way, like, not enough directors value the look on someone's face when a character is falling in love or is nervous or anything.
For sure.
But the way her character blushes and that close up, and she's like, "Good morning," and oh my god, like her character is just
She's great.
You believe it. You don't know why, but you just know that there's something going on between those two characters.
I totally agree.
But like the initial, our initial perception of Alma is totally destroyed. Like everything we understand her as early on, like she becomes a totally different beast. Like that scene where she wants to go out on New Year's. No is not an option for her. Mm-hmm. She's going out.
Yeah.
I love that.
Which leads to one of the best scenes.
Leads to one of the best scenes in the movie.
For Victor, easily.
I love
that scene.
When he's like wandering through the crowd looking for her,
and she's jumping up and down on the dance floor or whatever you want to call it.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Another scene with Alma I want to talk about quickly is the scene when they're testing out for the audience certain dresses. And she's testing out the one dress. And, like, it's totally inexplicable. It doesn't make sense, but it doesn't matter because the two characters, Daniel Day-Lewis and Vicky Krieps, are connected. When he looks through the little peephole, and she looks too, and she just knows that he's looking at her.
I know.
And, like, the way she, like, smiles and kind of skips back, none of the people in the audience matter at this point. It's just between the two of them.
I know.
And that was one of my favorite moments in the film.
For sure.
I was like, oh my god, like... First of all, that shot of him looking to the people,
I know.
So Hitchcockian, like so
Hitchcockian,
so Norman Bates.
Yeah.
But oh my god, when she smiles and looks back and kind of turns around, I was like, yeah, that is love on film there.
For sure.
Number 2, Victor.
All right, my number 2 spot is probably no surprise to Kirk and Nolan, as they know my taste and they know my preference in PTA films so well, but I gotta say, it's Daniel Plainview from There Will Be Blood.
I mean, you gotta give credit where credit's due.
Exactly.
That is one of the disregarding character, disregarding PTA performances. That is one of the best performances in all of cinema.
For sure. And I know that we're doing characters and not performances, and we talked about that, how like performances do influence how much we love a character, and for me, it totally does for this pick.
Oh no, it's a defining factor of a good character.
No, I know, and we did talk about that.
Factor.
One of them. 100%.
Yeah, it is one of them, and he just totally
the writing is
the writing.
No, okay, I want to take this example out of context, just real quick. Sorry.
No worries.
Recent movie we all watched together. Bad Times
at the El Royale.
El Royale. We all agree we love
John Hamm?
Chris Hemsworth's performance.
But we hate the character.
That character was terrible.
So it's the reverse, you know? It
exactly.
does still play. So I could imagine the opposite being true in some scenarios.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the exact opposite. I mean, his character's great as well.
No, it's not the opposite, but I know what you're saying.
No,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
In
I
other
get
scenarios.
you.
In other scenarios.
I get you.
Not taking...
No, the opposite is Cameron Diaz in Gangs of New York. Great character, well written, but absolutely horrible performance.
That's another movie I haven't seen in like a long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Honestly, I haven't seen it in a long time either.
Yeah,
I don't even know if it's a great character.
Yeah.
I was just trying to
meme.
But,
trying to make
but
a
Daniel
point.
Plainview, I'm so hypnotized every time he's on screen. And like for me, like you can talk about character development, character motivations, performance, but for like when it comes to like your favorite character, a lot of it is just how much you love watching this person.
For sheer photo, he's like photogenic. We talked about it in our one class, how like certain actors are just photogenic for film, whereas like they just arrive on screen and already their character and
they just have such a presence.
They just have a presence, and that's why I love Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's why Daniel Day-Lewis is amazing because every time he shows up in a movie, it's just
he steals the show. And There Will Be Blood is no exception. I mean, just every time he's on screen, I'm frightened. I'm laughing.
Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
What about this? You guys are forgetting. He abandoned his child.
He did.
And he drinks.
I abandoned my child! I've abandoned my boy!
He's an oil man. He's a family man.
Yeah.
And he drinks the milkshake.
He does.
You forgot.
I drink it up!
He's just incredible. And every time he's on screen, I'm just... Like I said, I'm hypnotized. Like
He's a competitive spirit.
He is. He's amazing.
He's amazing.
That scene where Henry, he has the gun up to Henry, and he's like, ruthless.
I know it's hard. It's hard to say anything that hasn't been said about his performance and about his character.
To put it in perspective, I was watching clips from. What's that new movie coming out with Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali? Green Book.
Green Book, yeah.
Yeah,
okay, I haven't heard of it.
And they were showing clips of it.
Yeah, I never heard of that.
Really? It won a tip.
That's weird.
It won a tip.
That's weird.
It's pretty hype.
It's directed by one of the Farrelly brothers, but anyways, that's for another conversation.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, I'm just saying this because my parents were watching the news, and there was this clip from that movie on the news. And Viggo Mortensen was amazing in this scene. And they were like, oh, Viggo Mortensen's such a great actor. Don't get me wrong, I love Viggo Mortensen, Lord of the Rings. But
for sure.
I was like, that's what I was about to say. I was I told my dad, I said, you have to see Eastern Promises because that performance that Viggo Mortensen gives is amazing. And then I started getting rattled. I was like, wait, Viggo Mortensen didn't win an Oscar for that movie. And then I started to get kind of pissed. I was like, how the fuck does Viggo Mortensen not win an Oscar for Eastern Promises? Then I looked it up, and he lost to Daniel Day-Lewis for There Will Be Blood. Makes complete sense.
Understandable, yeah.
Makes complete sense. Nobody can beat that.
That was a tough year. Don't
get Victor started on Eastern Promises. We'll be here all
What?
Why?
He doesn't like that movie. Right?
You didn't like Eastern
I
Promises?
like Eastern Promises. What are you
Didn't
talking
you give
about?
it like a 6 out of 10 or something?
No, like a 7, I think.
Yeah.
The bathtub scene is amazing.
Not
the bathtub, the
shower.
The sauna or whatever.
Sauna, yeah.
It's the best scene in the movie.
There's some...
And I love Vincent Cassel. He's fantastic.
Vincent Cassel has been amazing in every movie.
For sure.
I've
Every movie I've seen him in.
Lahan?
I haven't seen it
We
yet.
are very off topic. All right, can we move on?
We are.
Number two.
Okay,
All
sure.
right. To be honest, it's not really a top 5 because my number 2 and my number 1 are kind of a tie.
I thought we said no ties.
Okay,
They're so close.
I only value...
You gave someone number 1. You picked someone to be ahead of this.
I still picked someone number 1 and I still picked someone number 2. Number 2, Leslie Manville as Cyril in Phantom Thread. And I know I differ from you.
No.
And
Okay, remember how I said I was going to do a tie? it was gonna be the three main characters of Phantom Thread. We're gonna be my number one, but you guys wouldn't allow it. So
here's the thing. This is kind of personal preference because remember I was talking about Burt Reynolds in Boogie Nights, and part of the reason why I love that character so much is because he's the father figure. He kind of controls the movie.
Yeah.
Almost more than any movie I've ever seen. Leslie Manville in Phantom Thread controls that movie so much. I saw the trailers for that movie and I was like, okay, Daniel Day-Lewis, he's probably going to play someone who's like a complete dick. He's going to be similar to their... which is check. But he's going to be like almost... He's going to have some like evil undertones. Something's going to happen. There's going to be murder. I don't know. It's going to be similar to There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
I was completely wrong. To me, it felt like he was not only a younger sibling, but he was like the because of their mother dying young, Cyril, Leslie Manville, had to take the role of the mother.
I get that.
In that family, and she's like babysitting him the entire movie.
Totally.
She controls him. She controls the house too. Early in the movie,
House Woodcock.
House of Woodcock, Spotify, man. I listen to it on repeat.
The song's amazing.
The scene early in the movie when it opens with Alma at the fire talking about Reynolds, and then it cuts to like the opening of the House of Woodcock, and the opening scene is really just Cyril walking around the house. The way she walks, man. The way there's that one part when someone arrives at the house and she like is out of focus and then she walks into focus, and it's that like Jonathan Demme shot Silence of the Lambs where she walks in like total close up and she just looks straight into the lens and she has that little smirk on her face. That is just that moment of cinema that is just totally hard to explain why I love it so much, but it's so pure when she walks in and she just smirks.
He's getting passionate. I like this.
No, totally. And like Paul Thomas Anderson seems to like those characters where like you think you know who's in charge of everything. You think you know who is, no pun intended, but like the master. But then there's this. No. It's true though. But like then there's this female character who like you slowly realize is actually in control of things. In Phantom Thread, it's Cyril or whatever, however you pronounce it. In The Master, it's Amy Adams' character.
Yeah, PTA even said that Cyril is the person who controls the film.
And you don't know it for the longest time.
Not even over just Woodcock though, but also Alma. To a certain extent. Well, like,
and she likes Alma too. Yeah. She's
for sure.
It's like some people, and it really bothers me when they talk about a character has to like have these traits and they can't just be perfect.
Totally.
Whereas to me, Alma in a way is just kind of, she's the most free, she's the most perfect character where everything she says is right.
Dude, she poisons the guy.
Did I just say Alma?
Yeah.
I meant to say Cyril.
What the fuck?
No,
I agree with that.
Yeah, scratch that.
It's like, what the fuck?
No,
we talked about how fucked up she was.
I mixed up the fucking names, Cyril is like the most perfect character, and all her views are right, and like the one point, probably my favorite moment of the film. I know we talked about the scene with the mother, but to me the best moment of the film is when Cyril and Reynolds are having breakfast, just like sipping tea without Alma in the room, and they never look at each other once. But when Cyril's like, "Would you like me to ask Alma to leave?" And they have this conversation.
It's a repeated conversation too.
And he's like, "No, shut up, Cyril." And then she just goes off on him. She's like, "No, you can shut right up. Don't pick a fight with me. You certainly won't come out alive.
Yeah.
It'll be you who ends up on the floor. Understood?" Oh my god! And then she just sips the tea so loudly.
Totally.
Yeah, just to fucking get on his nerves.
The sound
Yeah,
design,
exactly.
the sound design in that movie contributes so
She
much.
loves trolling him.
Now another aspect of what makes a good character.
The sound design.
She loves trolling him, but she also loves kind of
almost
making
like
fun
teasing
of other people with him. She
Totally.
loves being his sister.
Yeah.
Like when those other people, those fans of the dresses come over to their table and they're like, they're praising their dresses, they're kissing ass, and then they leave, and then as soon as they leave, Cyril just starts like roasting them. It's so funny.
I know.
Oh, to me,
She's a
her
great
character
character.
is just the best part of that film.
Good choice.
Alright. It's time. Time for the final slot. Alright, guys. Now, before we all go through our final slots, let's go through some honorable mentions.
Yeah,
Right,
just
each of
list
us.
them off.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'll start since that's the pattern we're doing. I just want to say, like, every single character from Boogie Nights had the potential to be my 5th slot because I fucking love that movie. Don Cheadle,
It's the best. It's my favorite PTA movie.
It's
I
up
watched
there
it
for me.
again yesterday and this morning. Like, it's sorry to interrupt, but like
No,
it not only is an amazing movie. Not only like it kind of is an homage to Scorsese, but it copies Scorsese in the best way. And like, it's a special movie for my dad and I to watch because my dad loves that movie so much. I could ask my dad to watch a movie with me and he'll be like, but if I say Boogie Nights, he'll be like, fuck yes, let's go.
That's like my dad and I in Dazed and Confused.
And it's all because of the cast. It's all because of the cast with my dad. It's
all the characters.
all the characters.
Fair enough.
They're amazing.
But like, yeah, it's that and like Cyril, and this might give away. Actually, I want to say this honorable mention because it might
Say
give
it.
away.
It won't give it away.
How would it give it away?
How would it give it away?
Daniel Plainsview is another honorable mention.
Honorable mention?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead. Victor, what are your honorable mentions?
Oh, we're doing it like
Yeah,
that? Okay. Yeah. Cyril from Phantom Thread.
All the Phantom Thread characters.
Philip Seymour Hoffman in 3 different roles in Hard 8, which I thought about doing, but he shows up a little too briefly for me to give him the number 5 spot. Philip Seymour Hoffman in The Master, in Boogie Nights.
Definitely.
For me, Eli Sunday as well.
Yeah.
Great choice,
What
Kirk.
about Paul Sunday?
Alma for
What
sure.
about Paul Sunday?
Yeah, maybe Paul as
no
well.
respect. No respect for Paul.
Yeah.
Alright, Nolan.
Wait, Paul what? Paul who?
Paul Sunday from The Early Blood.
Oh, right.
The twin.
Yeah, not to mention HW.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
HW, honorable mention.
HW in our hearts.
Yeah, he's a savage.
He's number 1
He's
in
such
our
a
hearts.
savage. He's so good.
He burns the house down, man. Like,
Dude, he's so savage in that scene.
yeah,
Oh.
he's such a savage.
Okay,
Right.
anyways, my honorable mentions. 2 films got so many honorable mentions. It's obvious, like Boogie Nights and Magnolia. So many honorable mentions. In Boogie Nights, William H. Macy as
great
Little
character.
Bill. Devastating, but so funny at the same time. Similar to Philip Seymour Hoffman's character. So funny yet so sad at the same time.
Yeah, totally.
We were talking about this earlier. Magnolia, that kid.
No, that's what I was about to
Oh
say
my
that,
God.
bro.
Yeah, no.
That
go
kid
ahead.
from
Go
Stanley.
off.
Stanley.
Yeah.
The game show kid. So going over to Magnolia, Stanley as the game show kid. I love that character so much because
Makes you want pee your pants. Like, it makes
It
you
did,
want to
it
pee.
did.
I thought we were talking about the other kid, but
the rapper.
the rapper, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're-
Pretty good character. But this kid, like, he reminded me a lot of my friends growing up because I know it was a game show, but like if you take the game show and substitute it for hockey or something, it really felt similar to when I was growing up playing hockey. These like dads who are so strict, so controlling over their kids succeeding over some sport or some
Totally.
game
Game show.
And it was like this poor kid, he loves being smart and he loves learning things, but he doesn't like he has to go to the bathroom.
He had to
you know what I'm
pee,
saying?
man.
Yeah,
Still
yeah,
live
for
his
sure,
life.
Yeah.
for sure. Fantastic.
It's like he's almost like a fucking spectacle to behold. He's not a
Totally.
human being.
Great honorable mention for sure.
Yeah. Other characters from Boogie Nights, Dirk Diggler. I mean, he's amazing. Julianne Moore, her performance is outstanding. That scene when she meets with the lawyers and is talking about her son. Then we're crossing over to Magnolia.
Again.
Again, very underrated performance. But Melora Walters as oh my god, I forget her fucking character name.
Philip Baker's Hall's son, right? Is that who you're talking
Daughter.
about? Daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, her name is Claudia. Her role as Claudia in Magnolia. It's so good because she's
so good.
She's just like down in the depths of just shittiness. And then John C. Reilly brings out the light in her, and like she's so in that one scene when she opens the door, she's so good at acting super nervous and like super coked up, and at the same time she's like it's like she's grasping for breath because
totally
everything is just going nuts for her.
She's a great
that character. And yeah, I mean those characters would be my honorable mentions.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, sorry. One last character. We never talked about this movie yet, but I didn't like the movie as much. But Joaquin Phoenix in Inherent Vice, he was good. He was really good in that film.
He is really good in that movie.
Not the best film, but I love that character.
So it's just that
I love his reactions.
Totally. When he sees the picture and he just screams, that's the funniest scene in the movie. And just to talk about that movie some more, Josh Brolin in that movie is hilarious.
And I actually had this on my list for a bit until I rewatched Boogie Nights and put Burt Reynolds on. But Philip Seymour Hoffman in The Master.
Okay.
Very good. All right.
Kirk.
Number one
Speaking
picks.
of which.
Speaking of Philip Seymour Hoffman in The Master.
I'm a writer, a doctor,
a nuclear physicist,
and a theoretical philosopher.
But above all, I am a man. A hopelessly inquisitive man, just like you.
Brilliant, Victor. Brilliant. Well said.
Great choice.
Amazing choice. And like, if we were doing a performance list, this would be my number, like, tied for number one. If it was just performance.
For me, the character, what I love so much is it's all about that cult of personality.
Totally.
Like, holy shit. Cult of personality. Well, that's what it is.
Totally.
Like you brought up earlier, Nolan, or maybe it was Victor. I was too late. The real power is with Amy Adams. It's all a facade.
It was Victor, but I was talking about
Cyril.
Yeah. It's all a facade.
It is.
But behind this facade, like, this character fascinates me more because of that personality of
Amy Adams is so good too. We didn't give her a shout out.
She's fantastic in
I
that
love
movie.
Amy Adams. Yeah.
The only way to defend ourselves is to attack.
It's so good. That
Oh my
scene
God.
when he's typing and smoking and just go on.
I need to rewatch The Master.
You
That's
do.
the lesson learned.
Same. I gotta fucking watch it with my dad because I feel like he'll dig that film.
I'm not gonna watch that movie for a while. I've seen it
He's
watch
seen it way
it
too many
5
times.
times.
Watch it like 5 times.
Yeah.
Also, like, The Master to you was like the Social Network to me. Where you watch it once a week.
Totally.
Just kind of I dig this movie.
I fell in love with that movie.
We're interrupting Kirk.
You guys just said everything that needed to be said.
Yeah?
I don't know. Not much to say. I'm pretty burnt out on my PTA at this point. I feel bad. Because there's so much, like, everything we've talked about so far, it felt like we weren't just talking about a specific PTA character. Like, there were things that we could say about each of these characters that could be said for multiple
characters,
Paul
for
Thomas
sure.
Anderson characters.
Yeah.
And we've
For sure.
brought that up multiple times.
For sure. All his characters are flawed in the same way.
Well, not just that. Like, we have multiple things that we alluded to. The way that, like, Cyril and Amy Adams, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, for sure.
But
we're both, like, the secret masterminds of the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
for sure.
just what everything we've said so far, like some of which could apply to the Lancaster dog.
Yeah, for sure.
The lad.
He is a lad.
Lancaster
The
dog.
mustache.
The blinking scene.
The blinking scene is what I was going to talk about, but like just so much has been. That's like the normie scene to choose.
I might like the final scene between him and Joaquin Phoenix more than the blinking scene.
Well, I was just gonna say,
when he's singing the Slow Boat to China song to him. That scene messes me up.
That
personally.
scene didn't do it for me.
No,
to be honest,
that scene messes me up so much.
That scene, by the time I got to that point, I was like, I don't really care.
Yo.
I
might like that scene more than the blinking scene.
Okay, but that's your favorite movie of all time. Let's do that.
It is.
Speaking of which, Victor, what's your number one pick?
Wait,
Nolan had something to say.
I was just gonna say that blinking scene to me, is better than the ending to There Will Be Blood, and obviously it's preference. That is the best scene, arguably the best PTA scene. To me, it's a tie between the blinking scene and the drug deal scene from Boogie Nights. Those are the tie.
Despite
I think the Philip Seymour Hoffman car scene is the best scene in PTA.
That is obviously
the New Year's night suicide. I forgot to mention William
H. Macy.
I was about to pick
great.
him as my number 5 pick too. He was in contention.
Yeah. For sure.
That's my wife. Yeah. We're shooting tomorrow, so like I need your.
All right,
my number 1 pick.
Yeah.
This will come as no surprise to Nolan and Kirk over here, but it's got to be Freddie Quell from The Master.
The Quell.
What I was talking about before with Daniel Day-Lewis, just that he's so watchable. That is one of the main things for me with Joaquin Phoenix. Just he's so captivating. Every time he's on screen, I'm just enthralled. I'm so entertained by like every subtlety of his performance. Just like his posture, the way his lip is positioned, every time he talks, just
the lip.
He's so
the lip.
He's so funny.
The classic Joaquin.
Yeah. He's hilarious in some scenes, and then in some scenes he's heartbreaking. Like we were talking about the scene at the end with like when Philip Seymour Hoffman is singing "Slow Boat to China." Just his reaction, like he's crying. It's just amazing, and just. So yeah, his performance, which contributes so much to his character, but just everything he represents in the film, like post-war mentality, his master-servant relationships, and just the theories I've read and the things that I've theorized about the film, like...
Which is a lot, mind you.
Which is a lot, yeah. It just contributes so much to his character and just makes him so interesting to me.
His reactions are great. I love that scene... I love that scene in the jail cell when they start freaking out.
Oh my god!
Holy shit!
For sure.
That was like most
He's like an animal.
Yeah.
Off the wall.
I know.
Craziest scenes. Also too when they're like hugging / wrestling on the wall.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
So good.
It's so good.
The opening too, like
on the beach,
with like the body,
so
the sand body,
and
then
the sand boobies.
That's what I mean. Everything he does to me
makes
me laugh, but makes me want to cry at the same time. Like him humping the sand lady. It's so funny when you see it, but
it's so devastating.
It is devastating. Like later in the film when you learn like who he is and like that he's longing for this woman. What's her name?
I forget her name.
Oh no! What is it?
I forget her name.
All I remember is he banged his auntie.
Yeah. But yeah, just all the theories I've read about the film. I mean, like, there's theories that like he is like Freud's theory of like consciousness or whatever. He's the id. Philip Seymour Hoffman's the ego. Amy Adams is like the super ego. I've also theorized that
I think Amy Adams is the master.
No, for sure.
Definitely,
yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah.
I love that aspect of the movie.
And I've also theorized that like Philip Seymour Hoffman always talks about like going into the past and like correcting traumas from previous lives. The film can almost be seen as like Joaquin Phoenix is Philip Seymour Hoffman from a previous life. And the reason that he's so drawn to helping Joaquin Phoenix is because he wants to correct these past traumas from his previous life.
True. Holy shit, I never looked at it like that. That's
and like when I watch the film, I look at it a lot in that way, and it helps explain their relationship so much, and I'm just so fascinated by it.
Can we talk about the scene where they're riding the motorcycle?
Oh yeah, yeah. It goes all the way.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
It's
stop.
so good.
God, the looks on their faces just.
That's such a good scene.
So cinematic.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like nothing is happening. It's just like, how long is that scene? Would you say?
Like
at least 15 minutes. Is it?
I think it's like 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, it's still pretty long.
I haven't seen the movie in a while, but it's a long scene.
It is a long scene.
For just two dudes riding on a motorcycle.
Yeah, for sure.
And just like a random piece of land for like the longest time.
All right.
Are we talking about my number one character?
Yeah, sure. We'll wrap it up.
Of truth.
Yeah. I know what
All
it
right,
is.
give
us a quote.
Last but definitely not least.
Give us a quote.
Wow.
I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my boy! It's Daniel Day-Lewis. There Will Be Blood.
Great choice.
First time I watched this movie, I've seen the movie a couple times. Well, the first time I ever this movie ever caught my attention was I walked down. I was doing something else, but I walked downstairs and my parents and one of my brothers was watching the movie.
Yeah.
The three of them. And it was There Will Be Blood, and I didn't really know much about movies then. I was probably 10 years old, and my parents were watching this movie.
I watched it pretty young as well, yeah.
And I just kind of looked over. I looked over, and I sat down, and like it kind of caught my attention. And I didn't know much about film at that point, but I was just so engaged into the main performance by Daniel Day-Lewis, everything about it, even lines of dialogue I remembered, even though I wasn't into much of film, lines of dialogue I remembered just randomly. Yeah. My son HW and I enjoy hunting for quail.
Yeah.
I was like,
good impression.
Who is this guy? And not just that, you know how you watch a good performance and you're like, oh, Robert De Niro gave a great performance, or Al Pacino gave an amazing performance, Marlon Brando gave a great performance, Leonardo DiCaprio gave a great performance.
I know what you're going to say.
With Daniel Day-Lewis, it never even occurred to me that was a performance.
Yeah,
it was just some character.
Totally.
It was just some guy in a movie. I was like,
agree.
They made this movie back in the day, and they found the footage somehow.
Whoa.
And I was blown away.
Agree.
And then later on, I learned about Daniel Day-Lewis. I was just, this performance just like blew my mind.
It's insane. I know. And when you see interviews of him, just this friendly British guy, like the voice he puts on and like the attitude he has, like.
He says he's retiring from acting.
Yeah.
After Phantom Thread, which is so sad. Come on, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
It's fine.
But like.
He has a great legacy.
It's a great legacy. Some people are like, what the heck? Like, but honestly, I can kind of understand it when you look at his performances. You need to put in a shit ton of work to put in a performance like that.
Totally. It's sad, but it's not, because like just the legacy he's left behind and his filmography is just so impressive.
Yeah.
It's insane. Gangs of New York, Bill the Butcher. Like crazy.
I mean,
my brother Jonathan.
I've only seen clips. But what's that? Is it called Lincoln? That's Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. I've never seen
clips, but he's amazing.
He's amazing in that,
and he's completely different.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Joaquin Phoenix should have won for that Oscar, but
you've never seen Lincoln.
I know. But I've seen a lot of scenes. I know. I'm just joking. I'm just joking around.
Honestly, when you're nominated against Daniel Day-Lewis,
it's tough.
Good luck.
I'm just joking around, just because you guys.
Except for last year when Gary Oldman only won because of his career.
Yeah.
When Timothée Chalamet and Daniel Day-Lewis were both way better than him.
Did you see The Darkest Hour?
I saw like a lot of it in clips and shit. No, not just trailers.
Yeah.
I walked in on someone watching it and I was like...
The way you describe it is like saying walked in is like you walked in on someone watching a porno. And you're like, what the fuck is that?
No, I know,
Darkest
but,
Hour?
We're getting off topic, but yeah, his makeup and prosthetics were so much of why he won that Oscar.
There's 3 scenes I want to talk about with There'll Be Blood, and we haven't touched upon them yet. I'll go in chronological order. The opening scene.
Fantastic.
He expresses so much emotion.
Without saying a word.
And so much of his character without saying a single line of dialogue. It's just like 15 minutes of just pure, just physical performance.
Totally.
It's amazing, and when he falls down there, I feel his
leg.
pain. And when he's dragging his leg,
Oh my God.
even though he's a despisable character, I just feel his pain.
Totally.
And that kind of aligns you with him the rest of the film, because he works. He doesn't just achieve it through luck. He works for his success.
That just makes me think of after that scene where he's sitting down with the check with his leg hanging up like that. To me, that was hilarious.
Yeah, for sure.
The second scene I want to talk about is probably my second favorite in the film. I know we already talked amongst ourselves about how my favorite scene is the big, epic explosion scene, but
yeah. Did we talk about that?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't talk about that.
In the chat, yeah, we talked about how my favorite...
Oh, no, sorry, yeah, in the chat, but not on the podcast.
Not in the podcast.
Yeah,
no, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
My second favorite scene is that really calm, really slow scene he has with his quote-unquote brother.
Yeah.
That really slow, calm conversation when he says, I have a competition in me.
That scene is so good.
I do not want anyone else to succeed.
Yeah. I see the worst in people.
Yeah, I see the worst in people.
Yeah.
And the first time I watched that movie, I was like, this is a good. I'm talking about Daniel Day-Lewis, talking about the other guy. I was like, this is a good guy trying to help him out.
Yeah.
And then you find out he's not who he says he is. And Daniel Day-Lewis, the way he acts after that, you almost kind of feel that.
Totally.
Because that guy is just such a manipulative prick.
Yeah.
I could go on about that scene for 2 hours, but the last scene I want to talk about is the very end, because I watched the end of the movie again.
Favorite scene of all time.
Dude, when he has that bowling pin and he's going at it, the way he breathes, that's all I want to talk about, is the way he breathes, because he doesn't breathe like a normal guy. He's not
yeah.
He's like... It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
There's a lot of great performances. This is random, but where actors in Paul Thomas Anderson films, the way they breathe does a lot for the scene.
Oh my god.
That scene and just the scene in The Master when Freddie Quell is running away at the beginning of the film at the farm, just the way he's running.
Yeah, definitely.
It just adds so much.
The way he breathes, and one eye is closed more than the other, and he's kind of on... it's
the way he's hunched over.
It's not a Dutch angle, but Daniel Day-Lewis makes it a Dutch angle. He kind of turns like this, and he's like... Oh my god! That's
after he beats him.
Yeah.
Guys, this isn't a video podcast.
I know it's not a video. We're acting it out.
We're acting it out right here.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Great conversation, guys.
Yeah, great conversation.
What do you think? Everything I expect.
Everybody recap their top 5. Just quick recap.
Okay, quick recap from me.
Don't go over what they did. Just list them off.
Number 5.
Say a small
Buck
sentence.
Schwab, Don Cheadle, Boogie Nights. Number 4, Reynolds Woodcock, Daniel Day-Lewis, Phantom Thread. Number 3, Eli Sunday, Paul Dano, There Will Be Blood. Number 2, Alma, Vicky Crepes, Phantom Thread. And number 1, Lancaster Dodd, Philip Seymour Hoffman, The Master.
Great choice. Yeah, number 5 for me, Barry Egan, Adam Sandler, Punch Drunk Love. Career-defining performance. Easily his best performance. Number 4, Tom Cruise, Frankie Mackie,
Frankie Mackie, I think.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. So hilarious. So much depth at the same time.
Respect the cock.
My favorite Tom Cruise performance, easily.
Probably mine, too.
Yeah. Number 3, Reynolds Woodcock. We talked extensively about that. He's just fantastic. Number 2, Daniel Day-Lewis, the obvious pick. Surprised Kirk didn't include it on his list, but
From There Will Be Blood.
much respect to his
From
list.
There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, much respect to his list nonetheless. And number 1, Freddie Quell, Joaquin Phoenix in The Master. Absolutely love it.
For me, I'm a sucker for Boogie Nights. Number 5 was Burt Reynolds' Boogie Nights. His best performance. I don't need to see his other movies. I just know it's his best performance. I mean, no, I'm kidding. I'll watch his other movies. Number 4 was Philip Seymour Hoffman, Boogie Nights. Such a small role in that movie, but so captivating, so heartbreaking, so funny. Number 3 was Tom Cruise, Magnolia. Victor already talked about that. Number 2, Leslie Manville as Cyril in Phantom Thread.
Great choice.
I mean, she controls the movie. Love it. And number 1, Daniel Plainview, There Will Be Blood. I mean, just watch the movie and you'll know what I'm talking
It's hard to beat that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat that. Although I like Joaquin Phoenix a little bit better.
Okay.
It's hard to beat
Reason
that.
I didn't include him on my list.
Yeah, I want to know why the fuck you didn't include him on your
If
list.
this was performances, he'd be number 1.
Oh, easily.
Fair.
If this was performances,
Respect.
he'd be number 1.
Okay.
Just as a character, I found Eli Sunday more interesting.
Okay.
You can call me weird for that.
No,
But
I found that Eli, like, I love There Will Be Blood and I really like Paul Dano's performance. But I just found that, like, in every scene, Daniel Plainview was always way more interesting and always way more compelling than Eli.
and he just
He
dominated every scene he was in.
But that was all about the performance to me. To me, the characters themselves.
No, I get that.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Okay,
Sure.
but
And, like,
anyways,
and- wait,
we've
and-
already discussed this enough.
And Paul
Let's
Dano
wrap it up.
did fantastic. Like,
Okay.
he was fantastic
Yeah.
against Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, the lads have to pee. They're pretty drunk, so let's wrap it up here. Thanks for listening, guys. Thank you for listening.
Stay tuned for the next episode.
Yeah, it was a bit of an incohesive mess, but
It's
gonna
our first
get there.
time. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
We're rookies. We're virgins.
I think we did pretty good.
You've taken
I think
our
we did pretty good.
podcast virginity. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned. Nolan will now go to pee before Magnolia happens. All right. Thank you very much. See you guys next time. And
Respect the
bye.